It looks like we went horribly wrong somewhere. There is no possible way for our car to keep going. There are just some horses in the road right now. Nobody's with them.
What the heck?
In the middle of the city.
Did they escape?
What?
That's kind of scary.
This lady's running away from them.
I'd be scared too.
Wow. Whoa, they're jumping around. That's scary. Good morning, guys. We are leaving Itacare today. It's 5:30 in the morning, and as you can see, the light is up and shining. The sunrise is very early in Brazil, or at least at this time of year. So it is always light when we get up, whether it is early morning or not. We're on our way to Chapada Diamantina. It is a beautiful region of Brazil, and we have some cool things planned. It's very different than most regions of Brazil. It's not kind of the picture of Brazil that you would picture.
It's a lot of hiking, caves, beautiful scenery. So we're taking a break from the beaches and we're going hiking for a bit. So we have a 9-hour driving day ahead of us, which is why we had to leave so early. And I guess there's this amazing waterfall on the way, so we're allowing some time to stop at that. I'm sure we'll see some interesting things on this drive, all the little in-betweens of Brazil.
These are some of the worst roads we've been on yet. It is all bumps and potholes and mud and dirt. We were behind a couple people almost the whole time that were going like 10 miles an hour, barely moving. They're going so slow on this.
And it'd be fine if it was like this for like 5 minutes, but we've literally been on this for like 40 minutes and we still have another 7 or 10 miles to go. It's hard on the car. You gotta go real slow on these bumps. There's mud and potholes all over the place. You really have to pay attention. Oh, it was a
Okay, this is Roadtrip life. We stopped at a gas station to get some coffee. Got a cafe con leche and a coxinha. So there's something we keep seeing that we're very curious about. Already this morning, in the last hour, we've seen 3 or 4 guys holding bird cages with a bird inside, walking them around. We have seen that people have birds in cages at their houses, outside of their houses, which I've seen in other countries. I think it's like a good luck thing or something like that. But walking around with them, is that their pet bird? Like, are they like taking them on a walk? Does it have something to do with luck or...
Let us know in the comments below. We really want to understand what's going on with that.
We're intrigued by this. We have to know. So please, we haven't seen this all over Brazil, but in this state, around this area. This road is so nice. We've been on the road for over an hour already, and the whole thing was what we were just telling you. Extremely bumpy, holy, muddy, and we forgot what it was like to be on a nice road like this.
Now we're on a smooth paved tar road, and it's quiet, and I don't have to worry about bumps, just speed bumps.
How long have we been driving?
We've been driving for 6 hours.
6 hours. We're truly in the middle of nowhere now. And what's interesting is the landscape has changed a lot. jungle, rainforest, beaches, and all that, we have just begun to see cacti. So it is turning into more of like a desert landscape, which you probably didn't know that Brazil had anything like this in it.
I don't think we knew that. Just started seeing all these cacti, and there's these hills. It's beautiful. We are going inland in Bahia.
And you might be asking, what do we do to pass the time? Well, right now we're listening to a podcast, my favorite podcast. It's called How I Built This, and it's about businesses and entrepreneurs and how they got started. They tell their story, and we're listening to the one about Vita Coco. And interestingly enough, the idea came from Brazilians. The first podcast we listened to, it has something to do with Brazil, a company in the US, but a lot to do with Brazil.
Vita Coco is a company that sells coconut water in the US.
So, pretty cool. A lot of coincidences.
We love coconut water. This sand mound. We're hoping we can get through it. Stressful day. You gotta go fast enough, otherwise you will get stuck in sand. As you can see, the roads are super narrow.
Alright, it looks like we went horribly wrong somewhere. You know, we were just telling you that these roads look really horrendous. Well, it just got way worse, and there is no possible way for our car to keep going. So we took a wrong turn. Look at this. You might not be able to tell by the camera, but it's going straight up, and it's barely enough for a car to go by, and it's all rocks. So we have to go back. We're probably not going to make it to the waterfall, because now we're set behind hours.
Stressed out because we are in the middle of nowhere, no cell service, there's no houses around, and we're just on this horrible road. If something were to happen to our car, we would not be in a good situation.
We haven't seen any people, any cars coming by this way for a long time. We're just really in the middle of nowhere, and these roads are very bad.
We're thinking there should have been more of a main road, but this is the way maps took us as the most direct route, so we aren't really sure what's going on. But hopefully we make it through this.
It's not only this one part, it's almost the whole way it's been pretty bad roads, but this is some of the worst I've ever seen. Yeah. And if other people actually go to Chapada Diamantina, I don't know how they do it. If they go on a bus, they're definitely not going this way.
Yeah.
So we must just be on
back roads.
Back roads. We're like in the middle of a desert.
Not
no
good.
People anywhere.
Not good at all.
I don't even know.
Okay, we feel kind of stupid right now because our end destination tonight is Lencois, we don't know how to say it, but it's in Chapada, and we were going to stop and see a waterfall on the way. So instead of putting our end destination, we put the waterfall, but maps has not been very accurate here, and we think it took us like literally directly to the waterfall, like even on back roads, just to get right to the waterfall, which technically there are roads, but no one travels on these, and we should have taken the main roads, but we aren't familiar with the roads here at all.
We think we've been off course for a long time now, and now we have to take what we took here, which is pretty difficult, take it back.
Focus on the road. We finally got out of that road. pizzas together because of the fact that it was in the middle of nothing. No people live there. We don't have cell service. Our car is not a four-wheel drive. It was bad.
We're still not out of the park. We're still on bad roads, but compared to what we were just on for the last 45 minutes, I'm kind of surprised that we got out of that.
I think we're in the clear now, thankfully.
Still no people.
Yeah.
Nobody.
We will not make that mistake again. We need to double check Google Maps and not trust it so fully. Alright, I think we're just gonna get this whole thing of acai. I think it's about $4. They don't have it where they can just scoop it for you, so we'll just do this. I love acai so much that we've resorted to buying a tub of it when we can't find it anywhere else for our road trip.
Look what we got. There is a ton in there. I think we can eat it all. Do you think we can?
It's got thaw out of it.
It's completely frozen. We can't really get into it, but we'll make it happen. It's hot enough. I think we'll turn off the AC and let it melt.
In all these small towns, it's hard to find food, so this is what we got for the ride. So at this point, we have made the executive decision to not go to the waterfall and, for safety reasons, just go to our destination where we're sleeping. We pulled over so we can finally eat our acai that is still frozen, like literally an hour later at least. And
we're chopping at it
Alex
with
broke
a broken spoon.
It's not our day today. Plastic spoon, plastic bag, a broken wrist. Not really. It'll just take us 5 hours to eat it.
The spoon is broken in like 3 places too. It's almost done. Highlight of our day. We just finished this whole pint of acai between the two of us. Just while we're driving, I was feeding Lindsay. We're just finishing this whole thing.
That's our only meal for the day so far. So.
Yeah, and the only real good part of our day so far.
Literally the only thing.
We're in a very small little town right now, so kind of interesting to see these tiny little towns that no one gets to see. Take a look. Look at these roads. It kind of looks like a ghost town. Only a few people. Chapada Diamantina, and this is a pretty big national park, so where we're staying is still an hour and a half away from here. So we've been in this car for 10 hours with not really many stops, and by the time we get there it'll be 12 hours, so it's been a long travel day. We don't know what to expect when we get there. Hopefully there are restaurants open and things so we can get something inside us besides acai. And so if that happens, if we find something, we will eat tonight. Also, the room that we booked is only $15 a night, so we don't have high hopes for it, but at least it was cheap. So we'll give you the grand tour when we arrive. Our doorman, cuter than usual. Cute little puppy to greet us, just what we needed. Hi, baby. We couldn't find our place, but there it is. Just a piece of paper on the wall. Alright, let's go take a tour of our place. This isn't quite a hotel, not quite a Airbnb, not quite a posada, I don't really know what it is, but it's interesting. So, we've got a flimsy red door that doesn't really close all the way, so you can see the outside through there. We have a fan, a window that also doesn't close. Over time it just doesn't fit anymore. Looks like we have 2 separate beds here. This place is extremely interesting. There's extra space up here.
Vaulted ceilings, we like that. Makes the room always feel a lot bigger.
We have a beautiful chandelier right here. A mirror coming off the wall so that you can see yourself from here, I guess. The beds are very hard, minimal. And it looks like this opens up to like a backyard. It might be a shared space. Not sure.
Okay, for 15 bucks a night, this is not bad.
Yeah, we have a little kitchen here. Hammock. Cool, we can hang out there. Little table, a fridge. So this is kind of like a shared kitchen. And we have a bathroom. Our toilet.
Sink first, right outside the bathroom.
Outside the bathroom. Which is nice because our shower is connected to the toilet without any kind of separation. So at least we have a separation for the sink.
That's the grand tour.
Yeah.
We made it 12 hours later. 12 hours later, we finally made it to Chapada Diamantina.
We are so glad to be here. Now we're gonna go eat because Lindsay gets upset when she doesn't eat.
I get cranky.
And I
I'm
see
hungry.
that that's happening right now.
And we're both tired because we got like no sleep. So we're gonna go do that, get some good sleep so we're rested for tomorrow, and stay tuned because tomorrow's gonna be amazing. See you then.
Do you want postcards from around the world? Right now we are writing and drawing on postcards from all around the world. And if you want to support the channel and become a patron, then join Patreon down below. So in the description you'll see Patreon, and it's there that you can join where you can get postcards like this. We're gonna write on them for you, and you might even be able to get some small souvenirs from everywhere we travel around the world. So Patreon down below. Thank you to all the patrons who have already joined.